Fidgeting is a natural human behavior. Small, often unconscious movements that help us release tension, stay engaged, or find comfort. From this instinct has come the development of fidget toys and sensory tools designed to provide simple, tactile interaction with real benefits for people of all ages and abilities. For elderly people, these tools can encourage gentle movement and engagement. For those living with dementia, sensory stimulation can help reduce anxiety and provide moments of familiarity. And for neurodiverse individuals, including those with autism and ADHD, fidget-based support is often used to aid focus, self-regulation, and emotional well-being. One young enterprise team in Gibraltar has taken this idea and applied it to a product of their own. Sensory Snuggle has developed a tactile fidget blanket designed to comfort and engage while incorporating a distinctly Gibraltarian flavour.
Hi, my name is Ella Borrelisa and I was one of the co-managing directors of Sensory Snuggle. We were first introduced to Young Enterprise during a school assembly, and instantly I looked towards my friend, I'm like, we're gonna do this. Then we go to our classroom like probably half an hour later and we're like, we need to think of ideas. We're there brainstorming, we're thinking of toys, puzzles, and then we're looking at our friend who's fidgeting in the corner. I'm like, why do you fidget so much? She's like, it just helps me like absorb information, it helps me when I'm stressed. And we look at each other and I think it was like the light bulb moment where we were like, why don't we make a fidget blanket? And then we thought, but who else could use a fidget blanket? I have a family member who suffers from dementia, and so do other people that were part of our group. And we thought this could be such a useful tool for people who need it.
Hi, I'm Adele Gaetano. I'm one of the co-managing directors of Sensory Snuggle. So obviously fidgeting, actually we didn't realize how big of an issue, well, not say issue, but it's a huge thing. Like loads of people in school, teachers even. I mean, we can all relate to being stressed. I know Ella, the other co-managing director, she's always fidgeting with her hair. She's always like this. And me, for example, I'm always fidgeting. I always have my nails, I'm a nail biter. I'm always moving, you know. And some of the dementia patients, we realized that fidgeting actually makes them feel safer and makes them feel more comfortable, as it kind of takes them away from their thoughts and just focuses on their hands. It actually is really great for their fine motor skills, fidgeting. And we also found that it really benefits the neurodiverse community as it helps regulate them in times of overstimulation. So we felt that this tool is actually something that can be used for everyone and for all ages. And we also are kind of debating of what fidgets we prefer, whether it be a fidget cube, whether it be some sort of squishy. And then we kind of thought about, what if we make a product that offers all these sensations in one? So our product is actually divided into 6 different sections, each section offering a different sensation, as you might have one preference or I might have one. And it's actually inspired by all the features, all the iconic monuments of Gibraltar. So we can start with this section. This is inspired by the Gibraltar campion flower. Obviously we try to continue with the color scheme. This idea actually came from people fidgeting with their tags on their clothes. So they would often go like this. So we thought we should use this material to come up with a campion flower.
Then we got the rock where we had to print actually on like sequin pillows. And I remember we printed 4 on one pillow. So we'd have to cut out 4 times. And then sometimes the sequin would go side to side, it would go from up to down, and it would always have a different color in the background.
Then we have the Gibraltar Lighthouse, which was inspired by the winner of our Kids Patch competition. We used these beads, which we found were really typical for dementia patients. And actually we did a customization where we did a £2 extra fee that we would just customize a name or anything that you wanted to write. So a lot of people put like love, family, their family surname, which was quite nice because it kind of customizes your own. No?
Yeah. Then we had the cable car because we found that a lot of people like to fidget with their jumpers. So we thought just having this extra thing would be amazing. Yeah.
Then we have our Gibraltar flag, which is a literal pocket with some buttons. We then had our centered monkey, which was handmade by one of our grannies actually. So yeah, so you could take the monkey in and out and you could kind of like use it just as one of your toys. But we found that since we're called Sensory Snuggle, we wanted to use 4 out of the 5 senses. So we thought that scent was really important. So we did a soft lavender scent on the monkey that you can take in and out and play with the buttons of the pocket.
Then we had the Mediterranean Sea, and here I think if you can see, we had some dolphins that we had to cut out. I think I cut out about 100 dolphins, por lo menos. And yeah, these balls it was the idea of like slime, but obviously we're not gonna have slime in a blanket, so this was the next alternative.
Yes, we've got like different colour foam beads just representing the Mediterranean Sea.
Different sizes.
That you can move around and you can also squish. We wanted to put on the corner so that you can squish them around. And it's also fun to look for the dolphins inside because they're not easy to find. So yeah. So at the back, we actually did a pocket with just our zip and our logo. Here you can put in anything you want. You can put in stationery, you can put in photo cards. We found that some of the dementia patients like to have pictures of their loved ones and their family members with them at all times, which actually brought them more comfort. So you can put that in. We actually tried to make it clear so that you can see obviously anything inside. If you wish to put your photo cards, you could see it perfectly fine. And yeah, we also use this as a form of storage, so you can put whatever you want inside. And obviously the material is very, very, very soft.
Yeah, we wanted to have it as if, like, even if you're just on the sofa watching, it wasn't like an irritable material. Like, for example, this, you wouldn't want this on your lap. You'd want something nice and cozy.
It's all about like testing and trial and error as well. We carried on trying to get different materials that wouldn't work. No, this wouldn't work. No, this zip wouldn't close with this material. So yeah, it was just trial and error, which again took up a lot of time. But
our prototype looks nothing like this.
At all.
It looks nothing.
It just
like
shows
this.
like how crazy that it can change from one idea.
Yeah. I remember that morning thinking, oh my god, we have to take all the stuff to school. Just a few days before we got our banner, and we had just finished the logo a day before that. Then we took all those things to school, set everything up. We had to go in and outside the school because there was no Wi-Fi. So none of our presentations were loading. We were like, oh my god, like, oh, I'm stressing out. And then just a flood of people coming. And you're like, guys, we rehearsed what we're gonna say, like, just go with the flow. Like, we all know why we're here, we all know why we wanna do this, we all know the product inside and out. And then you just see how many people's faces light up when you tell them about something, how emotional people can get, because I think our product really touched a lot of people's hearts. And obviously there were those questions like, where are you getting manufactured? At that point, we weren't sure ourselves, so what are you supposed to say in that moment where someone's like, how much is it gonna cost when you don't even know yourself? So I think that was the hardest thing, probably. Like, answering questions that you didn't really know the answer for. Because it was in those early stages where you're like, I know what my product is, but how do I get there? I think it started to become real the day we posted our logo on our Instagram. That's the day where it was like, people are expecting this from us. We had so many likes, so many comments, so many reposting our logo on Instagram. And we were like, oh my god, everyone knows our idea now, like, we have to accomplish this. And then later, like, meeting with our volunteer, our teachers, like, trying to figure out a way to actually do this, then reaching out to manufacturers.
So when it came down to manufacturing, we were like, great, we have all these ideas, but how are we gonna get it done? And this is something that I wish we would have gone into a little bit better, which is our organization. Because we are a group that were like, no, you know what? Next week we'll do it. Or next week we'll email them. Tomorrow, and then it never came. We kept on leaving it for too late, and it actually got to the point where it was April, our finals were in May, and we didn't have a product. And we're like, what on earth are we going to do? So we were like, you know what? We have to take matters into our own hands. We're gonna have to do this locally.
We couldn't find a manufacturer for like a few months. So we were like, if you can't have anyone else do it for you, you're gonna have to do it yourself. So then I reached out to Bernadette, who manufactured it for us. And we even helped, even on the weekends, even after school, we would help. And yeah.
We sat down, we spoke to her. She's very into her arts and crafts. And we basically told her the whole thing, what we wanted. And she was like, this is what you've told me to do. She's like, you have a month and you want me to do this? And we were all just kind of like distraught. We were like, please help us. Like, we will come over to your house. We will help you cut, we'll help you stick, anything. Bear in mind, we are the least crafty people in all of Gibraltar. We had all these ideas, but we actually didn't know what to do with them. And she was like, this sounds very good in theory, but how do you actually want me to do this? Bear in mind, she has never done anything like this either. So I guess it was a challenge for her as well in the sorts. But she was an absolute rock star. She helped us. We met with her loads of times. We told her what kind of materials we wanted to use. And all of us coming together, I mean, this just shows the importance of teamwork, the importance of all coming together. And if you want to get something done, you've just got to do it. So yeah.
I'm Ginette Oscello. I'm the chairperson of the Gibraltar Alzheimer's and Dementia Society. I've been running the society now for quite some time, and apart from liaising with the society and helping patients and the families, one of my main aims is awareness. Fidget blankets is something that we've been working on for a very long time now, even before I took on the charity. It's just amazing for the patients. You know, it provides stimulation, movement. You know, we've got fidget blanket can have anything from buttons to zips to felt. So it is something that we keep working on continuously, and the patients benefit. So much so that whenever, you know, ERS, Mount Alvernia or Hillside run out, they're always requesting more. At Bishop Ganija, in our support groups on Thursdays, we actually constantly making them, and the patients just love them. Most people will know my mum has had Alzheimer's for 6 years now, a little over 6 years, and she has one and she uses it. Whenever she's, you know, anxious or whatever, you know, I'll bring the blanket out, and for them the stimulation of having something there to go from one piece to another, and the movement and all those different touches, everything you put on a blanket will give them a different stimulation to be able to get them to use a sense of touch as well. So for me, it's a blessing, and I know a lot of other patients also use them. I go see my mum every day in Mount Alvernia, and you can see them using them. And it does provide comfort for them. The team contacted me. For me, the first instance I got the message was like, wow, you know, we've got young people who are actually trying to create awareness. And as I've mentioned before many times, for me, it's not so much about raising money. Yes, every penny helps, and I'm grateful to everybody that donates to the society. But for me, it's more, and it's always been more, creating awareness. And for me, it was an absolute blessing from the first moment that I got the message. They were an amazing team. They already came, when I first met with them the first time, they already came with their ideas. So they had clearly done their research on what the blankets were to be like, what was supposed to be on the blanket, all the different options you have to provide that sensory for the patients. So they were already really well informed. Obviously, I helped him as when I went along, but for me, it was from the beginning to the end, it was a pleasure to work with them, and I knew that apart from creating awareness, they knew exactly what the patients needed, and they were well prepared.
This actually is something that you can literally just put right in front of you. You can put it on your desk, you can put it on a table, you can put it on your bed, and it will actually help you regulate your feelings and help overstimulation so much, because you actually don't realize how much you're fidgeting. And even when you're stressed out, sometimes you just need to take a breath and you're like, you know what, I'm fine.
So we manufactured less than 100. A lot went to, for example, GADS had bought, so did Possibilities, and a lot of young kids, and as well, like, I know I bought a lot from my grandparents, and I know other friends of ours did as well, and all our family members. And then my granny is part of the Generous Hearts charity, and they bought about 20, and they took it over to Morocco to the Cheshire homes. Yeah. I have a family member who suffers from dementia, and so do other people that were part of our group. It's a really hard thing to handle. I would say it's quite heartbreaking, but I think there's like, when he was given the blanket, I think there was a bit of, like, I felt like a light had switched on, and it just made me happy to know that I had given him something that he was able to use daily, even if he can't express he can't talk anymore. He's lost his speech production over a few years ago. But it really I think it made a difference within myself to know that I created something that he could use on the daily and give him comfort. So this is the one I brought from my house. I literally use it every time I'm studying for a test. I don't know why I absorb information so much better when I'm just doing something. Even when I'm talking to my mom about my day, I'll just be like, yes, mom, yes. And my sisters have one. My mom actually has one in our living room. because we find that when guests come over, they immediately like, oh my god, what is that? Like, and then the little kids, I have a lot of younger cousins, so when they come to my house, they're always playing with it. And I've even noticed like my friends, when they come to my house, they'll immediately be like, yeah, and they'll just start talking to me.
It's really cool to say, like, we run our own company and we made our own product. Like,
like I made that.
Yeah. So me, I'm very into the arts. This is not my department at all. But I really liked the idea, and I really liked the idea of, you know, a group of girls coming together and making a difference and doing something that is not for us at all. Well, I mean, it does benefit us in the sense that we do get overstimulated and we do stress like everybody does, and this does benefit us, but really it was targeted for the neurodiverse community and for dementia patients. And I kind of loved the idea that we're doing something that's not beneficial for us and we're just helping others. But one thing that this has taught me is that, honestly, things are not always going to go your way. And to be honest, there's an unrealistic idea of what kind of young enterprise is, which is like on our Instagram. It all looks very easy, it all looks very organized, but in reality, there's so much behind those doors, and there's so much behind those process. And it was a long process, but you know, commitment is key, perseverance is key, and organization is key.
Like, never in a million years will I have come out of my shell and started public speaking. And I think it's also helped me, like, career-wise. Like, never in a million years would I aspire to be a lawyer, and here I am now finding it really easy to speak in public, and now it's what I want to do in the future. But I also feel like it's taught me a lot of perseverance, and that not everything goes your way, and that you just have to overcome those challenges and just go through. And I think it's also taught me commitment. Like, definitely, like, and determination, because once I set my mind on something, like, I proved to myself how far I can go with it from this creation, this product.
Tourism is one of Gibraltar's most important industries, welcoming millions of visitors every year from all corners of the world. With that constant flow of people comes opportunity, especially for young entrepreneurs with ideas to capture a moment, a memory, or a sense of place. In a world of mass-produced souvenirs, there's an opportunity to create something more sustainable, creative, and original. Putting these ideas into practice is Tunnel Vision, a young team who have used creativity and conscience to develop a range of souvenirs made from offcuts of wood. Their products show how thoughtful design and sustainable thinking can transform overlooked materials into meaningful keepsakes for a thriving tourist market.
I'm Firdaus. I am the company secretary of Tunnel Vision. So we wanted to do 3D printing, but we also wanted to do sculptures, clay sculpture, so we were looking into that option. I did one of the prototype, but it took too long. It took 20 minutes to just make one, which is too long, and we were like, you know what? And then Ali, on literally the last week before the product launch, Ali decided to say, how about she told us this idea about introducing coasters. And at first I was like, okay, that's interesting, but what's a unique selling point? And then she was talking about, okay, how about we get wood, and then we start printing on these wooden coasters our icons and our artifacts and, you know, Gibraltar's monuments, etc. And I was like, this is a really good idea.
I am the Operations Director and Managing Director of Tunnel Vision. So I'm mostly in charge of the production. So what I'm in charge of is gathering the wood. Right now I have a collaboration with the team that cuts down the wood, and we take all of the discarded recycled wood so that we are reusing and we're not responsible for any trees getting damaged. We only take what is going to be thrown away. And we have, if you can see under here, all of these, that is all from the mount right now, and then we have some from the Northern Defences. And I take those, we cut them here and sand them all by hand, and then we would take it and engrave it with hand-drawn designs that I've drawn personally. taken from photos that some of my friends and my teammates have taken themselves. It's wood that is overgrown. It's been responsible for a lot of the neglect right now in a lot of these heritage sites, and in order to restore them, you have to unfortunately prune a couple trees. And so no matter the size of the branches or the logs, we'll take those and we'll be able to make them into, hopefully in the future, placemats. And any smaller bits, we're looking for badges or medals, so we can take, no matter what. Our whole point is to recycle this unwanted wood and give it a new life. We interviewed loads of tourists and asked what they are looking for in a product and a souvenir to take from Gibraltar. And the majority, around 60%, said what they're looking for is a piece of Gibraltar, either a rock from Gibraltar or a piece of wood from Gibraltar. They want something natural and native to us that they can't get anywhere else in the world. And that's what we provide.
The journey has been great ever since. We got a lot of positive feedback. They told us that our product is very of high quality. We did get a lot of people coming to our stall and asking us about our product. We exchanged contact info. Some people even bought, a woman I believe bought like, I think 5, 7, we nearly sold out. We didn't even plan on selling, but we sold a lot. And that was very surprising. I didn't know I would enjoy it this much, but I did. And yes, it's been a great journey.
None of us chose design technology for A-levels, so it's not like we were accustomed to working with wood. I mean, I did it for 2 years at GCSE level, but nothing could have prepared me for this. So it was a really big learning curve over the past couple of months to learn how to take the wood, make sure it's all level. You can never underestimate the technology, because you may think you have something right, and then you'll go through all of the printing process and you'll only realize after, once everything is done and varnished, that it's a millimeter off here, and it's offsetting to the eye. So we have to do the whole process again. So we've had to learn how to sand, how to cut ourselves. People love the local side of things. People love that it's student-owned, sustainable. And now we take this, and this is able to then be engraved and then varnished. Behind me is our workstation. This is where we take the wood when we've cut it and sanded it, and this is where we sketch and then engrave. So if you see here, this is my sketchbook with all of our hand-drawn designs, and we even have designs from the community of what they want to see next. We upload it to a laptop which is connected to our engraver, and we just drag and drop the files and we can engrave whatever design we've uploaded. We have pages on the candy tuft and the Barbary partridge, other designs that are less familiar in Gibraltar. We wanted to branch away from the typical monkey and showcase some of our less popular icons from Gibraltar, but that are still very important to our culture. So in the future, we hope to branch into other fauna and flora. So the campion, which is also very important to Gibraltar, but so far we have the candy tuft, which is our national flower. Front side, taken roughly 8 to 10 minutes, and then normally we flip it over and we do the fun facts on the other side. Over the past year, I've decided to continue this venture on my own, and it's been a great experience to know how to deal with it as an official business and also continue it as a hobby that I could probably start up again and properly put my time into and focus. I've sold just under 400 coasters, and I'm still continuing to get repeat orders from loyal customers and shops such as Book Gem here. Now we have 2 laser engraving machines, so we can double our production, and we have tried to branch out into new designs For the MedSteps 5 challenge, we're going to have a limited edition one just for the MedSteps. So hopefully the top 20 winners, plus any people who want to go there to support cancer relief and their efforts, can also get either a keychain or a coaster. We've also branched out over the Christmas months into baubles. So now we have a huge variety. And then in summers, we have made a couple custom for the Elliott Hotel popsicle sticks for their fun summer parties.
For many years now, we've been involved with a young enterprise supporting young people. When Tunnel Vision presented this project to us, I think it was quite surprising to see how young people captured what is heritage, culture, the environment. And there's more to culture than, like I've always said, than events, and that what is maybe musical performances or dance performances. There's more to culture than that, and you're preserving in a piece of wood which is recycled different areas of Gibraltar, whether it's monuments or it's important other environmental factors like the partridge. It gives young people the opportunity to be able to work on different projects that are of a creative and business side, but also to support those young people who will be the cultural heritage and youth leaders of tomorrow.
I love Young Enterprise. It's really prepared me for when I can either continue this into an official business or continue my own hobbies or set up something completely different. But it's prepared me, it's given me the necessary tools, also made me more confident with public speaking and engaging in teamwork that I didn't get so much in the academic world at school. I'm really happy. I had a lot of teachers encouraging me in my group because they saw that we could go really far if we had the tools. And I think I've been so determined that I really pushed this, and I think I could continue it as a hobby anytime I come back during the summers or winters. Even in uni, I really want to keep this going.